Abdul, I was talking with Tolu just a moment ago about playing against a guy like Colin Castleton, who made a lot of block shots, who does a lot on the offensive end. He had 3 20-point games in the SEC coming in today. You had to guard him most of the day. What's the challenge in guarding a guy like that, and how'd you do it so well?
It's honestly, I think it's a team effort. You know, the coaches watched a lot of film, and so did we. So we didn't want him to come out today and kind of try to establish himself. So we talked about it. It had to be a team effort. But guys like that, when they get hot, you can only hope to contain them. But from the jump, we decided to be physical with him. Nothing is going to be easy. He had to earn everything. He throws up there. So yeah, just play him physical and try to like cut off his left shoulder because he always loves to go left shoulder every time he catches in the post. So
I saw you talking with the officials about wanting them to watch some things with regard to what you were doing defensively and some things that Colin might have been doing that you felt like put you at a disadvantage. And I don't know if you were frustrated or not, but the two dunks in the second half looked like you were taking out frustration at the very least on the rim. Does it ever get old as a player to get those opportunities, especially when you can do it in traffic like you did on that one?
no, sir, not at all. It's always fun, not for just myself, but for my team as well. You try to get your team going, however you can. I'm pretty sure when I had the dunk, the putback, and also the other layup where I drove down the lane and dunked it, it kind of it picked my teammate kind of helped. They enjoyed their moment, and everybody got hyped, and we picked up the intensity because sometimes we focus on defense so much that we forgot about the offensive side. But the offensive side also helps motivate you to play more defense. And with the group of guys we have, everybody gets excited for each other whenever we make a great play. That kind of hyped up everybody, and the fans, the crowd also was into it. So
You guys have not lost back to back games this year, with the exception of those first two down in Florida. And what does that say about these guys now that you've got your entire team together, the resiliency of the group?
Um, one thing we talk about is every game is a learning moment. We learn every time, every game, every time we step on the floor, we learn from whatever the outcome is. At the end of the day, you want to win, but during the losses also you want to learn something from it. And like the last game we played had a bad taste in our mouth. And one thing I think we have to, I'm not even think, one thing I'm pretty sure we have to do or work on is to close our games. We're a little bit shaky, when it comes to closing our games. We got to do a way better job when it comes to closing our games. So,
Abdul, thank you. I'm going to let everybody else talk to you for a minute, okay?
We'll start the media portion with Paul Jones, and then we'll go to Garrett. Paul, go ahead.
Abdul, obviously a big point for the team in practice this week was the letdown against Texas A&M and allowing them to come back and win that game. But how much as players do y'all talk about that away from the staff? How much was that kind of a driving point this week when you guys talked?
um, we, after we lost after the A&M loss, we came back to the locker room and you could just see everybody's face. It was not a, it was, it, nobody had a great, everybody had a reaction to, hey, we weren't posted. We was not supposed to lose to these guys because for one, we were supposed to defend home and we needed every win we could get at home. So we took that as a motivation, and then we talked as a group that hey, we got to be able to close our games. We got to be able to handle the ball. We can't just let other team kind of like decide what we do on the floor. Be it on offense or defense. No matter how aggressive they play. So.
We'll swing it
Um,
over to Garrett. Garrett, go ahead.
Abdul, Coach Howland was telling us earlier that yesterday you were feeling a little under the weather. How relieved were you that you got the all clear sign this today or yesterday? And how did you kind of power through not feeling too well to come out and score 11 points today?
Um, Honestly, I when I went to the student center, health center for my COVID test, and all I prayed for was for the test to come back negative, whatever test that they gave, which and everything came back negative, because I wanted to win. I want to be around the group of guys. I want to be around my teammates and help them however I can. So when my test came back negative, I was excited. I wasn't feeling myself. During the halftime, I was in the locker room with a jacket on and with towels just covered up. So, I mean, everything came back negative. I'm excited, that I feel like I feel pretty good right now because of the win. So, yeah.
And on that last defensive possession, not sure if you saw the big angle on it, but man tries to draw a foul on that last shot, and Jalen stood his ground and held his defense. How big of a play is that when a guy keeps his hands in the air and doesn't let him get drawn into a foul in that kind of situation?
Jalen Johnson has a very high IQ for basketball. I don't think a lot of people know that, but the dude can really play, and he actually knows what to do. As an older guy, when to foul and when not to foul, and when to just stand up there and just defend and just contest the shot. So he did that. He's very aware that we was up by 3 point. You don't want to foul on a 3-point shooter and give him a 3-point shot or whatever. So he just stood there. Defended as that was a great defense. He defended as well as any defender could defend their possession. So.
Thanks, Abdul, for your time. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.